I generally don't like introducing myself.
Really?
Yeah,
I love introducing myself.
Really?
I love it. Yeah, people must know. In fact, you know what you must do?
Yeah.
Because they're probably gonna animate them on.
Yes.
Let's do this now. So on the count of 3, you guys bring these names. Do you want a specific font? Because they can do that as well. They can change the font. This is Sorbet MAN and GQ. If you say Comic Sans, I'm gonna walk out of this room. Don't go Comic Sans.
Maybe not Comic Sans.
Okay.
Yours?
Something Gotham is a very nice font. So you guys have Gotham.
Oh yes, actually.
Something strong, something bold. So here we go. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
There it is.
Here we go.
Welcome to The Man, a conversation with Sorbet and GQ. We're talking grooming, we're talking career, we're talking lifestyle with some of South Africa's best groomed men. And the first one is the man of comedy. But I hear that you didn't start with comedy. Tell me about that.
No, I didn't. First of all, very honored to be here and be recognized as one of South Africa's well-groomed.
You are, always.
People. Thank you. I try, man.
You do.
You know, I really do try. Back to your question. No, I didn't start in comedy at all. I studied art and design in Port Elizabeth, formerly Port Elizabeth, now, and went into advertising. I worked in advertising for 7 years. I was an art director at a big advertising agency, and found comedy. Never wanted to do it. Found it. I never thought of it as a career option.
Had you always thought you're funny though?
I've always thought I'm funny and a good storyteller.
Oh yes.
I like the attention, and I like seeing the reaction on people's faces when I present them, either with a drawing I've made. I used to rap as well. I was in a rap group in Tata.
I saw you in a movie where you were
Yes.
rapper. I forgot the
One
name
night
of
from
the movie. Yes.
And I wrote those bars. Just so people know, I wrote those myself. But yeah, I enjoy storytelling in whatever form it is. Advertising, obviously was a massive platform for me to express ideas and find different ways to tell stories. And I went to watch a comedy show once in 2010 only. That was my first big exposure to comedy. And I watched these guys just telling stories about their lives and where they're from, very relatable little anecdotes. And I was hooked. The main reason I was hooked was because I loved that they were in control of all of this. When I worked in advertising, yes, you come up with the idea and it's yours for a while.
Yes.
And then it has to go through to a creative director, then an executive creative director, then a client, and then the next
Then it
client.
comes back to you totally different.
Exactly. So it's 40% maybe of what you had originally come up with. And I think when I left, that's what I was craving. I was craving that control, but also I loved the immediacy of it.
Yeah.
You stand on stage, you throw out an idea, and when that laugh comes back or not, that's it.
It's like they get it. I'm on the right track or not.
It's thrilling. It's scary, but it's very, very thrilling. And I think that's one thing that really drew me to it, because when you get that first tsunami of laughter coming at you, oh man.
When was that for you? What was that first tsunami for you?
At my first gig, the first set I ever wrote. I just spoke about where I'm from. I spoke about growing up in Tata, going to a school that was 99% black, and I was the whitest kid at that school. And people's reactions toward
you,
there's something so crazy about people buying into your crazy thoughts. And relating to what you're saying. There's a wonderful connection that happens there. And yeah, man, I've been doing it now for the last 10 years and still love it.
So 3 top highlights in your career for the past 10 years.
Top highlights in my career? Oh my gosh, what are you saying?
These ones where you can say, these 3 were just top tier.
The first one has to be, I guess, formulating my team and my company, current company, Goliath and Goliath, and formalizing what we do. Because then we've gone on to open, we were running 8 gigs in Joburg at one time. We went on to open a big comedy club. We call it Africa's Premium Comedy Club in Melrose Arch. That's a highlight. I'll put that whole thing as part of one highlight. The second one has to be performing in my hometown for the first time, because I had my sub A and my matric principal at the show in the front row. That was an absolutely amazing thing. Honestly, I can't explain to you how great that was for me. And the last one, gosh, there's been so many highlights. I don't know. I actually cannot answer this question. Look, I think, okay, let's do this.
Yes.
It might not be directly related to
Your career?
to my career
Yes.
as such, but a massive highlight for me will always be having my baby.
She's 1.5 now.
Yes, she's 1.5 years old.
And how's that going? First time dad?
Oh, it's wonderful. You know, it's wonderful. We were chatting earlier on, and I was telling you that she's growing up so fast, and I look at baby pics of her, and I get so emotional. You know, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, are you still? Can I still call you a baby? You're a little girl now, you know, and it makes me appreciate time a little bit more.
So kids are busy, and being a dad who's well groomed. How do you do that? Because I'm sure you've got your product somewhere. I know kids will climb and take. Why is grooming important, and how do you manage that grooming aspect of it and still be present with your child and your family?
I don't always look like this, by the way, just so you all know.
I'm sure at home you look differently.
It's without aromat. But because of the nature of what I do, it's a visual thing.
Yes.
I'm on stage, etc. So you have to look a certain way. I think it frames you in a very specific way, and it allows you to have certain conversations that you probably wouldn't be able to have, you know, if you just looked like you didn't care about yourself.
That's true.
First. I often go and, you know, get my hair cut and get a shave when she goes down to nap. So I know when that window is, you know, but if not, I'm at home, you know, just touching up here and there where I can, just to look as fresh as possible. So if I'm not on stage, I'm creating content. So I'm always visible. People are always seeing me, and I just kind of have to look presentable, I guess. Yeah.
Are you a full body groomer guy, or are you more of the necessities? I'll tell you why. I wasn't a big full body groomer.
Yeah.
But now I'm really into pedicures. So what's your thing? Are you full body grooming, and what's your favorite grooming? For me, it's pedicures right now, actually.
You know, because of time, I'm not full body. I'm like mainly here.
Yeah.
This is it. And my thing, it's the beard. If your beard looks good, like your hair can be kind of scruffy, but that could look like a style.
Yes.
But if your beard isn't aligned and isn't sharp, you just look like you either woke up or
and it looks dry.
There's something about a beard that can just hold it all together for you. So beard, I'll go with beard.
Would you ever cut your beard?
You know, I had to shave my beard once.
What was it
for? For a movie role.
Oh, yes?
It was a movie with Vin Diesel. Right?
Fair enough.
So,
well, he doesn't have a beard. He didn't want you to show him.
But myself and my business partner Jason, we played these cops, and they were like, "Yeah, you don't really see cops with beards. Can you go clean shaven?"
True, actually.
Exactly.
Why?
I don't know what it is, but like cops are pretty much always clean shaven.
Yeah.
So we had to shave. Wow. I looked at I'm like, this is what I look like without a beard. No, we are not going back yet. Here's the hardest part.
Yeah.
We shave the beard. Fine, we shoot the thing. About 2 weeks later or so, the beard's now coming back, right? Not fully grown, but it's like it's coming. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. Let's start this journey. This is a difficult journey to go on. Then they call back to say, hey,
we need to reshoot.
No! To shave again. You know what the other thing you realize is, because my head's actually quite round, you know? And then I shave my beard, like even sometimes if I like push it up, I'm like, that's my head.
That's true. No. That's true. I get it. I have a big head, and when I've shaved, last time I shaved was like, 2015? The girl I was dating was like, why do you look a child? Why do you look like a child? I was just like, okay, not doing this again. But also someone had told me that if you shave it off, then when it grows better. I don't know how far true that is, though.
I think it is true, because after we shot the movie and it just came, I was looking majestic. You know, when people look at you and they go, what are you using? I'm like, this is it, man. This is DNA right here. That's what we're using.
In terms of your content, right? So I look on your social media quite a lot, and particularly visually, your images, the way you create your content. What's your inspiration behind that? Because it's pretty dope and it's clean, sometimes quite editorial.
You know, a lot of people know me for doing comedy, but I'm an all-round creative person. I enjoy telling stories, and it doesn't matter what form it is. Lockdown was one of the best things that could have happened to me and my wife. We started creating a lot of content then because we're both entertainers.
Yes.
And I started, I guess, pulling from what I know and what I love. I'm a fan of beautiful visuals. I shoot everything myself. I edit everything myself. I love fonts. I love design. You know, I think I just love visual storytelling. That's my thing. At my core, that's really what I'm about, you know. And what I managed to do, especially with social media, I take the visual aspect of it, the humor, the ability to tell funny, quirky, witty stories, put those two together, and then you have what you find on my social media. And I enjoy it because every single day is a new challenge. Trends change all the time on these platforms. There's always a new young person who comes up who's 10 times better than you. But I go, you can't, and it's one of the lessons I think I've learned is I don't look at things like numbers and all of that because it sways you too much. Because when you start making what you think people want to see versus who you are and what you're about. So right now, I just feel like I'm building a nice body of work that's going to lead me in terms of short form content that leads me to creating longer form things, you know, like short films, documentaries, or whatever it is, because I'm so comfortable with what I do. But it's a journey for me to find my voice as well. I want people to be able to look at stuff and go, just purely based on looking at it, going, oh, that's Donavan Goliath. Yeah, that's a Donavan thing. You know, it's the same way you can tell a Tarantino movie.
Yes.
You can tell a Wes Anderson movie, a Scorsese, etc., etc. There's an aesthetic, there's a look and feel, and they all really just pull from what they love and what they know, and then piece that together. That's how you create something original. You know, people think that originality comes from you sitting and trying to come up with something that's never been done before. Everything's been done before. What's never been done before is a recollection of every single thing that you know, everything that's inspired you, or visuals that have inspired you, music, etc. Putting all of that together to create the new thing, that's the original idea.
I like that. So in terms of of all the things you do, right, what do you enjoy the most? If we could say, you know what, we want you to just choose one thing, you can't do everything else, what would you say that is?
That's I love that question because I struggle with that every single day, is choosing one thing. There's a great book I read called The One Thing by an author called, there's two of them, David Kelly and Jay Papasan, and it's about people finding their one thing, especially artists. There's a great quote in that book that reads, if you chase two rabbits, you'll never catch either one, which is so profound, right? And when I look at everything I do, I would say moving visual, filmmaking. Yeah, because it's just made up of so many elements within that. It's not just like filming something. There's music, there's editing, there's the grade, you know, there's rhythm, tone, there's a lot of little sub things in there. So I'd take that on. It's the hardest one out of all of them as well. So I like the challenge.
So let's talk about personal style. How would you describe your style?
It's definitely evolved over the years, but what I've found myself gravitating towards a lot is minimalism. Simple classics. Basic clean white sneakers, well-cut suit, maybe a pop of color, but I'm all about good black t-shirt, good white t-shirt, gray sweater, gray hoodie. Yeah, you'll find me rotating between all of those a lot. I just also hate decision fatigue. You know,
What to wear?
I don't want to get up in the morning and spend 30 minutes trying to decide what I want to wear. I'm a busy person. I'm always thinking of ideas. I don't sleep well because I'm thinking about what I'm going to be working on the next day. Clothing shouldn't be a thing I spend my time on if it's not part of my lifestyle. But I still want to look presentable. And I'm not a person who follows trends at all. The problem with chasing trends is the word chasing. You catch up. You're always chasing.
True.
I love that so much. But yeah, I'm all about essentials. You know, that's my world, that's my vibe. And you want something that you can rotate often and wear in multiple different ways. So minimalism is my thing.
What would you never wear? What would you be like? You will never catch me in this. I used to think Crocs. But
Everybody says that, and
but,
then they put
but
Crocs
I
on.
put on Crocs. So I'm just like, okay, I've got 4 pairs now.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Super comfortable. What would you not wear?
Heavily branded
Yeah.
logo type clothes.
So you wouldn't even wear anything shiny, say you're hosting something that just makes you pop a bit?
I have. And I've had to.
Uh-huh.
I think I wore something. I hosted the SAMAs. There was a virtual SAMAs that I hosted, I think 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And I had to wear something, and I was like, out of respect, I didn't. That wasn't my vibe. And then I hosted the Satma, the Royalty Soapy Awards.
Yes.
And one of the jackets was this tiger print jacket. When I look at it now, I'm like, wow.
But did you pull it off though? Because sometimes you
know
don't
what, I did
like
pull it
what
off.
you wear.
I looked amazing. But yeah, it's just like when you look back now, you just go, ish man, there could have been so many other options. And I think I'm only saying this now because I know what I like.
Yeah.
And I think I've worked long enough, in what I do to be able to say,
Maybe
I won't
not
do
this.
that. I won't do that. I'd rather go this way and that way. And I'm not going to do it in jail for the sake of visuals. It's still me at the end of the day. I've got to feel comfortable in it. Because if I don't feel comfortable, you're not going to get the best out of me, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, ish, are people looking at that sequin tights?
That's true. That's true. That's very true. I totally get you. And lastly, what's your dream for yourself? First, as a man.
Wow.
Secondly, in your career, and thirdly, as a father and a husband. What are those dreams for yourself?
It's a very difficult question. Gosh. As a man, I'm really just trying to be the gentleman that my father is. Kind, strong, empathetic, respectful, making sure everybody's happy and taken care of before he is. That's who I want to be.
And well-groomed.
Of course, well-groomed.
Yes.
And my father's a basic man. He's not a boy. He's just like, what's your grooming routine? Water. But that's what makes him amazing. In my career, I think I just want to be as giving and as inspiring as possible. I like to share a lot, so I don't hold any of what I do and what I've learned to myself. I grew up in Umtata. I was born in the 80s, right? When I was in matric, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I could draw. I knew that I could paint. I knew that I was an artistic, creative kid. But you have nobody to speak to help you harness that and push you in a direction. And I feel like we don't have that in general, because that industry isn't spoken about enough. It's not a thing. It's coming up though, as much as it really is. We're getting there. And if it wasn't for a substitute teacher called Jason Crane at my school, Ezingisa, who came in, he was doing extramural art classes. If he didn't tell me, go onto the PE Tech website and check out graphic design, I probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair with you right now. That man changed it all for me, right? But because he was exposed to these things, we weren't exposed. So I would think in my career, it's very easy for me to sit and say here, I want to make this and I want to make that and I want to be known for that. I don't want to be known for any of that stuff. It comes with the territory. I want to be known as the guy who helped harness and helped provide support and a backbone for young people just like me, who've never been able to speak to anybody about who they really are and what they really want to do. And then as a father, I just want to be an inspiration to my baby. I want my baby to see me as a superhero. I want to give her as much as I can. And I'm trying my best really to instill courage in her, belief, confidence that she can be anything that she wants to be, but I'm never going to dictate what she should be, but I'll be there for her in whatever decision she chooses to make. I'll keep it as simple as that.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank
This is
you.
good. This is really good.
Man, that got very emotional.
I
like,
know.
I don't know. Like, if we had sat like 20 more seconds.
And that's it. The Man, brought to you by Sorbet Man and GQ. Thank you to the Man of Comedy.
Am
for
I the
joining
man
us.
of comedy though? After everything we've just spoken about. The man of. We're gonna have to find a title now.
The Man of forward slashes. I heard it earlier.
Title, please.